Good morning. Audio's working, everything's working. I have, for whatever reason, no clue how many people are watching and doing what. How is this doing? Okay, we are dealing. Okay, I should put down the audio while I'm streaming. Let me check something really quick because this looks like there is an issue with something. I'm gonna flip back. All right, let me fix this. There you go. So, all right. No more weird internet. Hi everybody. Today we're looking through this here. This is issue 198 of ImagineFX. And we're gonna look through it. I'm gonna read a bit. Yes, this desk needs cleaning. All right. Yes, this works. This doesn't. What is this? All right. Let me fix this really quick. Yay. Always fun. Yeah, all right, let's do this. Covered by Tony DiTerlizzi. This one is entirely about a book illustration. Where can I see? Oh yeah, okay. I used to be able to see like what's going on with the stream. Not anymore. This is unfortunate. I don't know which friggin' window I was clicking to see all that. Like how many people are online and the chat and everything. Now I have the chat on OBS, which is alright, I guess. But I don't see anything else. Here I am thinking that this could be something super easy to do. Yeah, no, this is not it. All right. I don't care. I'm just gonna go on. All right. What do we have here? Step into the spotlight. Naomi Baker. Oh yeah, did you guys get your tea? I have my tea. If you want to sponsor me with tea, if you're making tea and you want to sponsor me, that's totally possible. Martina, yeah. Martina's create art for Wizards of the Coast. Are Talsorian Games and HarperCollins Publishing since 2014. My work revolves around fantastical realism with a touch of drama, darkness, and emotion. And you're doing an excellent job with it. I don't know how you feel about it. I love her work. Andrea Alemano. Andrea is an award-winning artist who describes himself as a compulsive illustrator. In his quest for inspiration, he travels the world, always finding new things to draw when exploring cities. Cool stuff. what's wrong with me today. James Fernhaber. My work explores the space between reality and fantasy and its effects on people, says James. For inspiration, I draw on mythology, magic realism, and traditional animation. Cool stuff. Cristina Leone. I've been passionate about drawing ever since childhood, says self-taught artist Cristina. In 2012, I left my secretary job to follow my dream to become a full-time artist. Kiyami Omotayo. I've been a self-taught artist for the better part of a decade, says Kiyami, but recently I've been taking it more seriously. In between juggling a day job and family life, she's inspired by artists on social media. How to break into book illustration. Yeah, how? I wonder. Hit the books. What do artists need to know? What do artists need to know to enter the world of book illustration? Dom Carter talks to professionals to find out. The art found in illustrated novels and picture books is often inspiration for budding artists. So it's no surprise that many consider turning their hand to book illustration at some point in their career. But just like other popular mediums, it can be difficult to know how to approach book illustration. Add publishers, designers, and authors into the mix, and the industry can seem daunting, if not impenetrable. Yes, it can. But it's not. Luckily for aspiring illustrators, this multidisciplinary nature means that there's lots of ways for them to get into it. A strong portfolio is the foundation of any artist's artistic career, and it's not different for book illustrators. Make sure to include up-to-date work that relates to the work you want to do in the future. Beyond that, though, there doesn't appear to be a specific route to follow. And with that, the article actually could end. But it doesn't. Roads to success. The best advice I can give to make a lot of personal art, so that art directors can see many examples of how you fit into the process of selling a book, says Tor Books illustrator Ila Menaya. I don't believe it's about qualifications necessarily. I think if you're making personal art, you're making that art with stories and books in mind, and you're nice to the people you connect with. Work will find you. This is Gus illustrator Chris Chatterton. Oh, this is Gus illustrator. Okay. Chris Chatterton agrees that artists don't have to focus on academia and instead need to do what feels best for them alone. I myself never studied illustration, says Chris. I come from a graphic design and animation background, which certainly is creative and similar in certain ways. Armed with this overlap of knowledge, he knows what a good illustration portfolio should contain. I would include character design, animals, and children environment, interior and exterior, diversity, and a good sense of color and light. Meanwhile, Hugo Award-nominated artist Rovina Kai recommends fledgling illustrators indulge in some research. This may sound obvious, but start by looking at some books. I'm sure we all read books for fun and to appreciate the artwork, but there's a lot of professional information to be gleaned from them too. I'm learning so many new words here. Gleaned from them too. You can make note of what kind of art appears in books, how the art is placed within the layout, the flow of images from page to page, etc. Also note which publishers produce illustrated books and the kind of art they commission. approaching climates. Once you've refined your portfolio and pinpointed relevant publishers, it's time to contact art directors. Surely, that's easier said than done. Contact with authors and illustrators these days has never been more accessible, reassures Douglas creator David Melling. However, my advice is don't be lazy with this accessibility. I receive a growing number of clearly generic emails, so now, like my friends, I'm much more selective and thoughtful about how I respond. I must also mention the Children's Writers and Artists Yearbook. This is an invaluable annual publication with up-to-the-minute tips on all areas of the publishing industry, as well as a list of current publishers, their contact details, and what they specialize in. Highly recommended. Rovina reveals that she has a three-pronged approach to making contacts. I focus on sending postcards and emails directly to art directors, networking at industry events like conventions, obviously not in this current COVID times, and social media. And despite the algorithms that govern the latter, it's not something that the illustrator stresses about. My outlook is that as long as you're putting your work in front of art directors, you're showing them strong work that fulfills their requirements, then you'll get hired eventually. A social media presence certainly appears to be the inside track when it comes to getting noticed. I know several art directors and publishing houses who use Instagram to look for an artist. That's just right for the project they have, says Chris. Although he stresses, you should have an account dedicated to your work as an artist and not your drunken nights out. Working relationships. Landing that coveted first gig is one thing, but what does the working life of an illustrator look like? You will work directly with an art director and designer mainly, says Chris. You hardly ever speak with the author about the text. Contact usually takes place via emails and will typically include you sending the book, thumbnails, pencils, rough color, final art, and receiving amends and suggestions. This typically takes place over the course of a few months, although it all depends on the publisher, project, and artist schedule. This lead time is an important factor for Eli. You don't always have to have a say over the pace at which a job will go. A book cover may take 6 months to complete, and that pay, which you negotiate at the onset, will not be enough to support you as deadlines shift or life shifts. It's good to talk. Speaking of deadlines, David is keen to point out that good communication can come to the rescue if your schedule is squeezed. Most publishers do allow for a little slippage, as they call it, as long as you keep the channels of communication open, which is important. Submitting substandard work is the worst feeling, and obviously you wouldn't be doing yourself any favors. And with designers, typographers, and marketers, to name a few, all having a say on the final product, an approachable and flexible work ethic is a must. Any working relationship, in my experience, is built on trust, honesty, and hard work, adds David. Both sides want the same thing, and if you're willing to put in that commitment, you have every chance of success. I saw here there were some things, industry insight, skills book artists need. A diverse grasp of drawing, knowledge of composition, color, storytelling, and character design is a must, says Chris. Even a little knowledge of the inner workings of book publication is recommended. 2. How art works with design. The ability to understand layouts and design language is helpful when planning out how illustrations fit on a page. Yes. Yes. Big yes. And how the art interacts with text, says Rovina. An awareness of visual storytelling. Breaking a story into its basic parts is great for coming up with ideas. The only way to learn that is to read a lot, says Eli. Good time management. Number 4. Master patience, adds Eli. Book covers don't happen overnight. There are a lot of moving parts in publishing. A lot of time you'll be waiting on people's schedule to align to receive approval or feedback. Number 5. Develop revenue streams. Develop a multifaceted business strategy, Eli advises. I believe it's a lot of artists' instincts to throw themselves into a single job, but other parts of an artist's business need tending to as well. It takes work to drive pledges, sell prints, or work on private commissions, and that should be done whenever possible. Number 6, an approachable outlook. You'll need strong communication skills. Said David, publishers like to build a list, so it's crucial to have a solid creative working relationship with an editor. One good experience to lead to any number of projects. Absolutely true. Great work, by the way. Hey! A day in the life of Luis Carrasco. Problem solver. We discover what the average day looks like for Terraform Studios character art director. He's such a cool dude. I hope you will meet him eventually. At an event, probably. Yeah. Oh shit. Dave Seeley. We're looking into the studio of Dave Seeley. I absolutely love what Dave is doing. What he's always putting out is always amazing. It's so cool to have some insight into this. Holy crap. This is a lot of space and well used. Wow. Awesome. What you see here is a fantasy studio in more ways than one. Really, absolutely amazing. Naomi Baker, the concept artist and character designer, chats with Ruth Hamilton about making the leap to Marvel and the magic of traditional media. I hope you're familiar with her work because it's absolutely amazing. One of the biggest challenges when working on a game is trying to stick to the big picture. I've never seen sketch work from Naomi. This is awesome. This should be in a published sketchbook. Friggin' amazing. There's this feeling that the tactile feel of real paper and pencil gives that I believe is impossible to replicate. Yep. If you know any animators or animation designers personally, then buy them a coffee or something. Yeah. Sketchbook from Mia Rojo. I don't know if you're familiar with Mia's work, but again, you should. Oh, this is lovely. I wonder if mermen, I wonder if mermen actually need facial hair. I don't think it makes sense. I actually don't think it makes sense that mermaids have hair, if you think about it. 15 tips on book illustration from Tony DiTerlizzi. Know your market, first impressions, setting the mood, hunting and gathering, draw what you love and learn what you don't, illustrate between the lines. It all starts with the protagonist. Sketch beyond your limits, step backwards to go forward, grow the world via your main character. Acoustic or electric? See the big picture. Don't just stand there, act. Be open to feedback. Never abandon imagination. Craft a portrait for a book cover. Greg Ruth. Are you familiar with Greg Ruth's work? Gladly I am. Hey, yes, Naomi is amazing. Greg worked on a graphic novel with Ethan Hawke. I remember when that came out, it was amazing. Oh shit. I know this. Get better at picking colors. Angela Sohn breaks down a coloring process and reveals the importance of warm and cool colors. Yeah, just amazing. Jim Pavelek. Paint and refine a demonic figure. iPhone 12 mini. Yeah, it's... Again, these are a bit older. Alright. So, that's books. Okay. Patrick J. Jones. Cordero Press. What do we have here? Astrology Taschen books. I think I even have that one. Don't ask me why. The Art of Hearthstone 3. This is how it's done, right? Yes. This looks like we're about to see it is complete. Alessandra Maria. I see my work as a devotion to beauty, says Alessandra, who reveals her life and art is moved by iconography. It's an icon, but it's iconography, right? Sacred gardens and even simpler magic. Greg Ruth is phenomenal. He also reminds me of Sam Weber sometimes. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yes. But I like Greg's work more. I don't know them personally. Jason D. Rodriguez. And there she is. Here's Compete reveals how she paints an eye-catching wraparound book cover for her book Fairies of the Fault Lines using watercolor, gouache and pencil on paper. I miss you. Hope we see each other again soon. Oh, we're through. First impressions, Winona Nelson. Representation lies at the heart of this US illustrator's work. I love wild, saturated color and trying to capture the feeling of music. That's it. That's this issue. Sorry for having this stream a bit wonky. I'm gonna check these things before launching next time. I still have to figure out a couple of things like music, I think, but I like how casual by now I can just move. And see, here, another problem. I love how casual I can now move and just be like, all right, I have some time and I'm just gonna stream. And even if someone watches or not, it's more about the recording, I guess. But I plan to put out more like this. And also the thing is, I have my entire desk full of art books that I got in LA when I was there. There's this De La Longfish one, and yeah, like a lot of stuff that I have here that I'm still thinking about. Should it be a video that I edited or should it be a stream? And I just don't know. I don't know how to point to a specific date, which date will make sense and which not, and blah blah blah. I will figure it out, but I feel like this should actually be a stream so we can talk about the many books that I have here. I think overall I came from LA with like, I don't know, is it 40 books or something? A lot. And there's a lot more that I have here that I still can make a review. Or should the reviews always be streamed? That's the question. The question is, what is the question? Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go back to work and see you next time. Bye bye.